No?
All right, we're live. We are up and running. Kabalsack, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Right, all zero of them right now. They'll get here eventually. But it's
Yeah, yeah,
just
they
me
will.
and Kabalsack today. Just the two of us holding the fort down and putting out a podcast for you people. All of zero of you right now. How are you doing today, Kabalsack?
I'm good, I'm good. Woke up pretty late, started labbing Injustice, and then started playing Cyberpunk again.
Nice, nice. Nice. Is it more stable for you now? Are you able to run it a little bit better after the
Oh, yeah.
1.6? Oh, okay.
100%.
Awesome. Awesome. Like that's all I play when I'm not playing MK, which I only play MK when I stream. Um Otherwise I'm just playing Cyberpunk all day every day. The game is so good. It's too good. It's too good. We were talking a little bit before going live about like getting into MK and streaming and being more a part of the community, and that was kind of an interesting conversation that we were doing during the sound test, and I was like, well, why don't we fucking save this shit for the actual podcast, because it is a pretty interesting conversation that I'm sure some people would find enjoyment out of. Kabalsack, what about what would like give a little bit about why are you around MK and all of that?
Well, I originally started playing MK because, well, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan as it is since like 2005, because that's when Shaolin Monks released. That's actually the first game I remember playing. That's Mortal Kombat related, and
Really, you started with
after that,
Shaolin Monks? That's actually pretty cool because that game was fucking dope.
yeah, man. But I actually remember the graphics as being much better than they actually are.
It's a
But seeing
PS2
World,
game.
yeah, I know. Nostalgia really hits different, right? I really love seeing fucking world records runs by mustering ketchup for it, especially now that I know that if you put in a code, you get Scorpion and Sub Zero early. Like me and my cousin would usually just play through the game twice and then play a Scorpion Sub Zero.
Well, you can unlock all
It's
the
so much.
characters really early for versus mode. Isn't there like Johnny Cage, Reptile, and Katana as well?
Oh, I don't remember. The only codes I remember is for the arcade ladder for I think it was for like challenges and shit like that, right? You have different levels and you beat different enemies there. And I remember the Scorpion Sub Zero unlock codes uh for entering in the story mode of them.
Yeah, you could
That's
play
all I
as
remember.
them in the story, but there was also a versus mode. You could play two-player versus mode, and
Oh
they
yeah,
had
yeah,
had other
yeah. I
characters
know.
in it. But I always loved that game. That's kind of cool that you started with a good one instead of like special forces or something shit like that. Fucking mythologies Sub Zero. Like, oh, dude, I that's gotta suck if that's your first MK game. Like,
Yeah. Uh, After that, I started. Played MK9, like not when it released because I wasn't really that into MK when it released. Then I came back like 1 year after MK9's release. I started playing it and really like. For some reason, it felt like I didn't like it at that point. It felt a lot like I was winning too much. But to be honest, I was just fighting the AI, so that's probably the reason. And then Injustice came around. I bought the game, and no, I really didn't like MK9 even when it released and shit like that. And then I came back to it like 2 years ago or something, and started playing as Cabal to really get a sense of the meta and shit like that.
fuck, dude,
But no,
Cabal is
I just
finger
don't like
breaking.
MK9.
That
Yeah,
character will break your fingers doing those run cancels. Run cancel four
yeah.
three one. Run cancel 4-3 run. Well, to do the block infinite back in the day, when they nerfed the block infinite, it wasn't so bad. But like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, that block infinite was rough. I remember trying for like hours and hours to like nail it and make it airtight, because in offline, like in online, you can make it a little like not as airtight, and they probably won't escape it. But offline, people will escape it. If you're like one frame off on it, like people will get out. Like that's one of the things that I always bring up is like, dude, playing offline and online is different. Stuff that works, it just like it's a culture shock. Because when I was doing tournaments for MK9, there were people like obviously everybody was trying to tier whore, right? They're trying to win money, and so people would play Cabal, but they didn't have the execution to do it like Online Tony did, and like you would just escape and blow their ass up because they didn't have anything other than that. And then you had Online Tony winning all the SoCal tournaments with fucking because he could nail the block infinite without a problem.
Yeah. But, after the bullshit of me trying to do it airtight and everything, I got it like 2 or 3 times within the first 3 hours, but then I stopped and went to Liu Kang, and then I liked him a lot more than Cabal, or actually how it feels in MK9.
Yeah.
Then after MK9 when it released, and I got into it playing Injustice came around, Injustice 1. I didn't like it also.
You didn't like Injustice 1?
Nah, I don't like Injustice 1.
Me either. Fuck that game. Fucking hate that game. I hate that game so much. I may have blacklisted myself with like NetherRealm because of that game. I think I told you guys how I fucking was shitting on the game in front of the developer one time on accident. And I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it. But like I shit on that. Like
you didn't say that story.
What's that?
You didn't say that story before.
Well, okay, so during like the heyday, the golden age of Wednesday night fights, here in SoCal, before coronavirus, actually before Street Fighter V killed the scene, because like Wednesday night fights started taking a dip with Street Fighter V, because it's a very Street Fighter oriented community event. But they used to, like, developers used to come out to Super Arcade for the release of their games. So, like, it wasn't unheard of to, like, go and see Mike Z there during the release for Skullgirls, or to see, a member of NetherRealm at the release for, Injustice or MKX or whatever. And so during Injustice 1, it was like maybe a couple weeks or a month after the game had released. Hector, who was the lead developer for Injustice 1 or at NetherRealm, I forget exactly what he did, but he was kind of a big deal. He actually came out to California to hang out at the tournament and just kind of rub elbows with the community. And I was like hating that fucking game because like Injustice is so heavily leaning on set play. And like when every character is like a set play character, it just kind of makes the game like one touch death. Like, oh, like I got you in my setup and you didn't get me in yours, so now I win. And matches were just so fucking lopsided. It was like, dude, like what's the point in playing these matches when it's like the first touch means you're just going to be reset into death? Like whoever gets the first touch wins. So like one of my buddies was talking to me and we were watching a match, and he asked me like what I thought about the game. He was a Tekken player. I think it was either Just Frame James or Tekken Tim. It was like a notable Tekken player, but it wasn't Eris because Eris was in the tournament. And they were asking me about Injustice 1, like my opinions on it coming from a Tekken player. And I was like, I just went off. I was like, this game is shit. It's fucking stupid. There's no neutral. It's just the scrubbiest, most awful fucking fighting game I've ever played. I fucking hate it, and I wish it was never even created. Like, this is bad fighting game design 101. This is how you make a bad fighting game. And literally, Hector was standing behind me the whole time I was going off. And it's a tournament, so it was loud, right? So I was kind of half yelling. So I'm literally yelling out at the top of my lungs how awful this guy's game is. Like, he put his blood, sweat, and tears, spent years developing it. I mean, like, the games are, like, quality as far as, like, software product, right? Like, it's not like the game was buggy or broken, like in the sense that it, like, how Cyberpunk on PlayStation 4 is, right? So it was one of those things where, like, I can respect that as a casual fighting game, it's good, but as a competitive game, it was ass. And I was just ripping into this game in front of this dude's face, and I didn't even realize it. And then my buddy elbows me in the, he nudges me in the elbow, and he's like, and And he kind of like nods over, like, look behind you. And I look behind me, and he's like sitting there, and he's got this fucking look on his face, like, who the fuck is this idiot trashing my life's work? Who the fuck is this guy? And I was like, oh shit, fuck. I am never ever going to get any love or respect at NetherRealm. I felt so shitty. I still continued playing Injustice 1, right? But I felt so shitty that I actually like left the MK community. Like I kind of tried to compete in MKX, but like I just felt bad because I was like, fuck, dude. And he doesn't work at NetherRealm anymore. So I was like, all right, well, at least, you know, at least he doesn't work at NetherRealm and he can't fucking cancel my stream. But like I felt so fucking shitty. But you know, serves him right. He made Injustice 1. He made Injustice 1, and I hated that game, and I competed at it. And I remember the day I fucking quit that game was I was in a tournament, and I was a Batgirl main, but I was trying to like see what I could do with Batman, and I fought a Doomsday, and I just outplayed this Doomsday the whole fucking match. And then he gets me in the corner one time, and that was it. I went from full health to dead. And I was like, what is this shit? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's the overhead low. You have to block it high and then low, and you have like 5 frames to do it. And also, it crosses up in the corner. So not only do you have to block the high correctly, you have to block the high left or right correctly, and then block the low. And like, so it mixes you up with cross up.
And then he can do some dumb shit where only the low connects.
Yeah, and like, and he just spammed that same fucking ground pound. Boom, boom, boom. The whole fucking round. I went from 0 damage to 100% dead in like instantly, just from being in the corner one time. And I was like, at that point, I fucking phoned it in the rest of the match. I was like, I'm not even fucking playing the rest of this match. I was like, this is so shitty.
I think it was also block.
What's that? What'd you say? Oh, he seems to have his mic go out. I'll finish what I was saying is like it felt so shitty, like being put in that situation, that it was like, dude, there's no neutral. Like I've outplayed this guy this whole match, and then he just got one touch, and that was it. And that was Injustice 1. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I didn't hear shit.
Oh.
So I just left the channel.
Oh, well.
I think the overhead low was safe. That's what I wanted to say.
It was safe, and it crossed up. And that was the thing that I hated about Injustice, was every character was like that. Every character was like, if I got you in my little set play trap, like the match is over. Like, it's just done.
Yeah.
I won. And I hated that. I was like, why are we playing entire rounds? It should just be like whoever gets their setup, like, wins. Like, oh, you're Batgirl and you hit 1-1-1? Okay, you win. Like, that's it. It's done. And
by the way, for people that are playing Arnold right now, Arnold has a move called Terraformer. It's basically MK11's version of that move. It's
the extended strings.
Block, but it's still on overhead low, where the overhead can miss and only the low comes out. So, lab the shit out of that and find some setups of it. All right, don't fucking sit home and wait for other people to do it.
Right, I did lab the extended Terminator strings, and they're all right. Like, yeah, he's got the Doomsday gimmick, but it's not as like good as Doomsday's. He's.
Oh, but yeah,
it's got its use.
It's definitely not that good. It's not useless. It still has some setups you can use with it.
Well, to me, it's just a gimmick.
But it's still
like,
an overhead load. It's really hard to block.
To me, it's just a gimmick. It's like something you can throw out every now and then, like to catch them, off guard. But it's not something I build an entire strategy around. And, to be clear, when I say something is a gimmick, I don't mean never do that. I mean, don't build your entire strategy around it. Use it sparingly to catch people unaware. That's what gimmicks are for. But like when I criticize gimmicks, it's when people have nothing else. Like you have nothing in the neutral. Like all you're trying to do is just dash in and do your gimmick. And it's like, if I blow that up, you're just going to lose the match. And like you didn't even play. Like you just got blown up because you had nothing but the gimmick.
Exactly. Like Joker's 4-1, 4 back forward 2, that's a gimmick. That's super easily A, fuzzyable, B, reactable, and everything. When I played Joker against you, I only used it like once.
Yeah,
The entire set.
doing it once, you'll catch people, right? Because like Sonic Fox is famous for that shit, right? And when Sonic Fox does it, he does it like once in an entire set. You know, like it's not like he fucking does it the whole match. That's the point about gimmicks is that they're only scary if you don't see them coming. You have to be strategic and have something else other than that to set up the gimmick so that way the gimmick actually does catch you off guard. But what do I know? I'm just a fucking idiot that plays these games. But like, yeah. So you're back on topic. We got kind of sidetracked a lot. You started. You don't like Injustice, and then so what? You came back with MKX.
Yeah, my cousin had MKX into his place. We played a little bit, and I actually really liked the game. I as time got as time passed and everything, I started disliking it more and more because it was really bad. I mean, you saw me how good saw how bad I was at the start of MK11. Now imagine that, but 10 times worse. I couldn't play online or anything. I would just lose, and I was an Ninjutsu Scorpion, so everyone hated me.
Well,
Then
go ahead.
after that, after a while, even when MK11 released, even after that, I don't know exactly when I came back. I started learning new characters like Jason, like Takeda, like Reptile, like Ermac, and I started enjoying the game a lot more than I did at the end of the life cycle. But MKX basically brought me back to the MK scene and also made me dislike it. Dislike MKX actually.
Well, MKX, I still like the game. I still think it's a good game, but I don't think it's a good game for beginners because MKX it's just run mix, right? Just run in and mix, run in and mix, run in and mix.
Yeah, but
That does not make you good at fighting games. That
literally.
actually makes you bad at fighting games. If that's your habit, like that's where you default to when you're trying to play. Yeah, it's like the worst thing.
It's so literally that. It's the run mechanic actually exists where you run in and it mix people.
Right? Like, and I can tell people in MK11, like, if they came from MKX and that's all they play, like, they play shit like Aaron Black and Sub Zero and they just run in and mix and they're like, they don't know what to do when they don't have a mix. And when you don't fall for the mix, like, if you're offline and you're reacting to all that shit and blocking everything, and they're like, fuck, how do I hit them? He's just blocking. Right, and it's just it cracks me up because I can tell who started with MKX because they're really bad at fighting games, like awful at
Yeah.
them, you know. And
They're the people that are saying that Liu and Noob are bad because they don't have overheads.
right, yeah, Kung Lao needs overhead, and it's like what? No, he doesn't. He'd be dirty if he had an overhead. He'd be worse. Like the character has problems, and overhead is not one of them. But like that's why I think a lot of people don't like 11 is that 11 exposed how bad people are at fighting games. Because you could go into MKX and just fucking run in and mix people all day and think that you're good at fighting games because you like won 5 coin tosses in a row on the 50-50. But you're actually bad at fighting games, and someone that knows how to space and someone that knows how to play the neutral, like they'll just blow you up. And I think that's one of the reasons why people are kind of shitting on this game, saying it's like really zone heavy. And I'm like, the zoning is like annoying, but you guys haven't
MK11
seen
is
bad zoning.
don't hit this game.
Like,
Continue. Actually,
I was gonna say, anyone that thinks the zoning in this game is like awful, like never played Injustice 1. You never played MK9. You never played Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger. Like the zoning in this game, it's brain dead. It's fucking dumb. Like anybody that plays a zoning style in this game is like dumb because it's so stupid how simplified zoning is in this game. But like this game doesn't have bad zoning like previous games. The zoning in this game is actually pretty manageable.
the zoning in this game is just doesn't exist. This game is just offense.
Really? Because I don't know if you saw my sets with fucking creative yesterday with Devora. Yeah, zoning was very effective in that matchup. I think the problem with zoning, it's twofold, right? People that like the zoning playstyle don't want to do anything during a match other than zone. That's it. Like, I just want to be full screen spamming projectiles until I win. That's what I want to do. That's all I want to do. And if they can't do that for the whole match, oh, zoning is weak. And I'm like, you're an idiot and you don't know how to play fighting games and you're just a bad player, because zoning is not weak in this game. It's situational, just like everything else. I can't just run in and, like, unless I'm Jackie or Jax, I can't just run in and brain deadly mash rushdown strings all day. But like, if you're playing a rushdown, like if you're playing Liu Kang, eventually you have to zone, even if you want to rush down. Like, you have to play the spacing game. And this game is all about dynamics in the match. It's all about how the match flows from situation to situation and how can you deal with each situation. So you have to be able to zone, and you have to be able to deal with zoning. You have to be able to rush. You have to be able to deal with rush. And you need to do that during the course of an entire match, right? You're going to be changing positions and situations throughout the match. You can't just do one thing. And that's the problem with the NetherRealm community, is like they've never played other fighting games. They've only played NetherRealm games. And like, so if you started with MK9 or Injustice 1 or MKX or Injustice 2, those are all like set play games. And MK11 is the first game they've put out that's not just set play, right? It's not like, oh, I'm full screen and I have plus on block projectiles, so now I can just zone you the whole match and there's nothing you can do. And people that play NetherRealm games are used to like those I win situations of, let me just get you in this situation and then I win. And MK11 is not that. You can't just sit there and, oh, well, now I'm a rushdown character and I got in close, I win. No, it's not that way. Like, you have to be able to navigate the entire match. And MK11 exposed how bad everybody is at fighting games. The entire Mortal Kombat community was exposed at how bad they were at fighting games, because MK11 just said, you know what, we're going to go full ST, right? We're just going to make the super turbo of Mortal Kombat. It's just going to be fundamentals, fighting game skills, just regular fighting game shenanigans, and very little set play, very little dumb shit. You actually have to be good at fighting games to play this game. And most people in the NetherRealm community are not. So they said this game is bullshit. It's dumbed down. It's scrubby. It's water. Only beginners like this game. And it's like, dude, you're a beginner. Like, if you're getting beat in the neutral, like, you're a beginner. That's all there is to it. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Just so I can defend the point I made of the game just being offense. There you can zone, and it is really situational. You can't zone the entire match. There isn't a character in the game that can do that. You have to get it in.
But the thing is, like, that's for every play style. Like, Noob Saibot, he's like all nooch, but like eventually he's got to get in if he's got a health deficit, or eventually he's got to zone if he's ahead. Like, and Noob Saibot, you know,
the opponent. You can get zoned out, but you'll eventually get in. There isn't a chance in hell you're not gonna get in.
Yeah.
On the side of Injustice, like in Injustice 2, you have Superman, right? Superman had to fucking heal lasers like down back one to just send you a full screen, and then you're back in zoning.
Yeah.
In this game, there isn't a move like that, or at least there isn't a move that does that. It isn't fucking completely unsafe on block, or isn't like 40 or 50 frames on startup or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, I think MK11 just kind of exposed how bad a lot of people are at fighting games. Because I see a lot of people that are like notable players, and I watch them play MK11, and I watch them play, they'll sit there and shit on MK11, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go back to Injustice 2, and then I'll watch them play Injustice 2. And they'll be like really, really bad at fighting games, but they'll be winning, right? They'll be kicking everybody's ass because those games are kind of scrubby. Like, MK11 is the first game NetherRealm has put out that, in my opinion, isn't as scrubby. It's like the least scrubbiest game they've ever made. Because you can't just brain dead things, right? So like okay, take for example in Injustice 2, when I was fighting Syzoth, who was playing Firestorm. Like, literally all he was doing was spacing me with his, like, if I got in, he did his advancing jab string, and if I wasn't, like, he alternated between two projectiles, and that was it. And that was the whole match and the whole round.
Hi,
was
Crosby.
yeah, I hear you now. Did you get disconnected again?
No, Crosby is here.
Oh, what's up,
Jackie is
ATL?
most definitely brain dead. I just have to join in and say that.
Damn! I put
Yeah,
out the
Jackie's most
call.
definitely brain dead.
She is brain
So
dead.
I
Jackie?
don't agree with that. I don't agree with that brain dead shit.
No,
I
Jackie
was
is.
listening, but I had to come in and get my word on that
No,
one.
no, no,
You
no,
know,
no. While you're here, you didn't hear me say, I said outside of Jackie and Jax. Look, I hear me echoing. I said outside of Jackie and Jax, you actually have to play dynamically in a match. Jackie and Jax, like Jackie is just brain dead rushdown. Like she's just, and the thing is, the people that are complaining about zoners being brain dead spam are also complaining about Jackie. They're also they're saying Jackie's brain dead.
I have to disagree with you and say that. I have to disagree with you and say that Cetrion with Tornado and Customs is brain dead as well. They gave a zoner one of a tool that just resets the neutral.
Well,
Just point
yeah,
blank period.
Cetrion,
So that is
I agree with that. But I'm
that's
saying
definitely brain dead.
But I'm saying you look at most of the cast, right? Like right now, I have the AI Melina fighting Shang Tsung. Like neither of those characters can just brain dead one strategy. Like Shang Tsung, he can't just spam projectiles the whole match, and
Oh,
he's
yeah,
a
you
zoner.
can't,
You know,
but
like
the
Melina
people that
can't
are
just
considered
unga
top
bunga
tier,
you.
the people that are considered top tier are the ones that can brainlessly do things. Though,
Yeah,
if you think about it, like Joker, for example, he can just, in my opinion, it's pretty brain dead to do string after string in a back 4-4. That's just my opinion.
yeah, it
The
is
only one
brain dead.
that's only the
But he's
only
not as
honest
brain dead as Jackie.
the only the only honest top tier is probably like Fujin, though. That's not really a real. That's
Fujin
not
is
real.
not honest. What
I
the
don't think Fujin is
He's not.
honest at all.
He's not
He's
brain
so
dead.
dirty.
You're
He is. He's
turning
not
his
brain
minus
dead,
5.
but he's dirty.
Yeah. When I say honest, I meant as in just not being brain dead. I didn't mean as far as having to literally only honest top tier, if you want to go off that, is probably Johnny Cage. I feel like Johnny Cage is really honest, but
I think
other
Liu
than that,
Kang's honest. I
yeah, I'll
think
give you Liu Kang.
I
Liu
think
Kang is
the
more
honest
honest
top
because Liu Kang's got to mix up what he does on his strings. Even if you're just doing forward 4-3 like an idiot, you still have to change what you follow it up with. Like you still got to stagger it, grab, fireball. You still have to think after forward 4-3. Whereas like the other characters like Cetrion, like you don't have to think after tornado. You just go back to whatever you were doing that leads back into tornado. Like that's brain dead to me.
I think the most honest top tier is actually Shang Tsung.
I don't. Who considers Shang top tier?
Dude,
What do you
before
what do you call top tier though? Because like I said, I feel like he's probably top 10, but top
Yeah,
tier in my opinion is top 5.
when I
Would
think of
consider top
top
5.
tier, I think of like top 5. When I think of top tier, I think of top tier as guaranteed to see in tournament. If there is a tournament, you will see this character. To me, that's top tier. So it could be top 3, it could be top 10, it could be top
Honestly,
5. But if I
also
know I'm gonna
Geras,
see it, then it's top tier.
custom Geras is also brain dead. I want to throw that out there too. With that
Garrus,
stupid ass
I
shifting sand and then the eternal clone.
in every tournament.
Nah,
he's
you don't even have to do eternal. You just need the. All you need is the fucking sand clone, the shifting sands, and fucking the um
the
the
teleport.
good back forward one. I forgot which one it's called. I think it's quicksand.
Yeah.
The one that actually gives you the good crush and blow. Yeah, that's all you need. That's brain dead as hell, to be honest. He gets zoning, then he gets a fucking thing that literally stops you from coming in, basically.
Well, I mean, I agree that Garrus is brain dead, but I don't think he's top tier. I think that in order,
He's I would say he's top tier, but I would say only with that build specifically. Like with other people, they have such a good base move set, they can be top tier. Like Jackie, for example, I feel like her base move set she could still be. You could just shuffle on all of her moves and kind of make her top tier still. But with Gears, you can't do that with every one of his moves and still come out and make him top tier.
yeah, that's true.
The
Like,
base characters aren't top tier unless you have a build for them. Fujin isn't top tier if he
What
doesn't
I'm
have
what I'm
fucking
saying is
needle
those
and
base characters.
Aaron.
no,
What
he's
I'm saying is those base characters. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is those characters still have a great base moveset. Only thing Gears has going for him in the base moveset is maybe the temporal advantage in that command grab, but he's not. You can't make a case for him in that situation. With Jackie, for example, she
Gears
get that.
base.
What'd
well,
you say?
Gears'
like,
base is really good. He has a he has an 11 frame mid. Actually, he has two 11 frame mids. He has he has really good damage. He has really good damage, really good unbreakable damage. He has a really good fucking projectile, or well, down back one that eats anti-projectile moves and everything. He has a mid
But
command grab.
you still can't make a case for you still can't make a case for him without those customs. He's only top tier if you're shuffling around with those customs. And to be honest, no matter what you want to do with those customs, he's only top tier if you have that clone. To be honest, you can shuffle around with those customs all you
Fujin
want.
top tier. He doesn't have.
I,
Fujin isn't top tier. He
you're
doesn't have
you taking
No.
everything. You're taking what I'm saying so literal, bro. I'm not saying literally every character. I'm just saying for the most part, most of the top tiers have a really good base move sets where you can kind of make a case for them. You're like
Well, I think the
taking
thing
it.
with the
You're
top
taking it
tiers,
so literal.
it's not that they have a base move kit
No,
that's
no one
really good. It's that they
the
have
move
something
kit
that's spammable that you have no answer to. When Joker starts doing string into Jack in the Box, you just have to hold that. And they can just do that over and over and over, and there's nothing you can do. When Cetrion does Tornado, you just have to hold that. There's nothing you can do, and they can do it over and over and over. And that's what I think. Like, the thing is, Garrus doesn't have anything like that. He has spammy shit, but he can't do it over and over and over. Like, he can't spam ground sand like Cetrion. And even with shifting sands, he still has to kind of set up that to make it work. Like, it's not just back forward 4 and, like, now you're fucked. Like, it's like, okay, I got to get the thing on the ground. Now I got to kind of space it. If I get you in the position that I want you in, you're fucked. But it takes a little work to get that started. Not a lot of work, but a little tiny bit of work. Whereas with Cetrion, it's like, if I'm in range to do any string into Tornado, I'm going to do that, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that's the same as Spawn. Actually, Garrison Spawn. I think they're really similar, but they have a different game plan. As in how they get the game plan, it's what their game plan is. But
Yeah, but Spawn, if
I
Spawn
didn't have to
beats
say
you,
it.
if Spawn beats you, he does it in the
Spawn
neutral.
beats you when you're in the corner.
He doesn't set play you. Like, Spawn, he beats you. He gains the hit in the neutral. He hits you really fucking hard, and he gets you a full wall carry, and now you're in the corner. But, like, at the end of the day, you're still playing fighting games. Like, even if he has you in the corner, you can escape his corner bullshit by just having good corner presence, like just good fighting game fundamentals. You can escape the corner on Spawn. It's not like spammy. It's not like, oh, well, he started the 3-4, like, now I'm fucked. Like, you can do stuff about it. There's counterplay to what Spawn does. There's no counterplay to Cetrion. What are you going to fucking counter Tornado with? Like, there's no counterplay to Jackie. What are you going to counter fucking forward 3? Like, there's no counter. If I can do it, I will do it, and you have to hold it. That's, I think, the difference between the top tiers and the fucking rest of the cast. Is that, like, they have spammy shit that there's no answer to.
Yeah, like I said, it would more so, in my opinion, still go to that base moveset and also their buttons that makes them top tier. But like I said, it's still certain characters that if you shuffle on with certain things, you can kind of make a case for them being top tier, but only if you shuffle around through their customs. But
yeah, because Joker is just good no matter what build you've got. Liu Kang is good no matter what build. As long as you have low fireball, Liu Kang is good.
Yeah, I feel like Joker, especially because his armor break is in his preset moves. So
yeah,
his armor break is pretty trash.
Wait, what's that?
The back 4-4 is pretty good for armor break. If you're using boxing gloves, it's not bad at all. And I still feel like boxing gloves is optimal for Joker.
Boxing gloves removes a lot of Joker's good shit. Like,
well, the thing about
crowbar.
All you need with Joker is boxing gloves and jumping jester, to be honest. And you still have this stupid ass mind game with string in the back 4-4.
Oh yeah, he gets massive damage with that shit. That shit does like 36. Actually, no. Does it do like 36 or 37% optimal in mid-screen? I know it's 40% optimal in the corner.
It's about 37 optimal mid-screen.
For one bar. For one bar. No crushing blows. 1 bar.
Oh yeah, by the way, he gets 30% unbreakable, and if you don't break in that combo, he gets 35%.
Yeah, so...
Well, yeah, because now that people have the down 2 tech...
You can really do boxing gloves in the back 4-4 anytime and just get the armor break for free. To be if you really come, just gonna guess they're gonna break. So that's why I feel like with Joker specifically, he's like.
Well, he's just like, I think that's kind of his thing. Is just like the problem with Joker is he's got the, like, most characters that can do what Joker does, which is big unbreakable damage for 1 bar. Like, they can't be as spammy as Joker. Like, they actually, like, Cabal can do the same thing, right? He can get like 30% unbreakable for 1 bar. But, like, if he's doing it, he's not just spamming forward 1-4 into hit confirm into jack in the box if you block, right? Like he's doing stuff. Like Kabal is like staggering and trying to cross up and, you know, shimmy you. Like he's doing different things, whereas Joker is like, yo, I'm going to do what I want to do. There's nothing you can do about it. And if it works, I get 35% unbreakable for 1 bar. If it doesn't, there's nothing you can do about it anyways. And that's the problem. What's that?
We've already talked about this shit like 500 times.
Well, yeah, but like ATL's bringing up Joker, and like I think the problem with the top tiers in this game is just spammy shit. That's just the problem with NetherRealm games in general. They've always been very, very spammy. This is the first game that isn't spammy, and it's the one game that everybody is saying sucks. And I think it's because everybody who has played NetherRealm games for the past, 10 years or whatever, they just have bad habits and they're bad at fighting games, and they're used to the things that NetherRealm games used to let you do to kind of sidestep being bad at fighting games. And in MK11, you can't do that anymore. Like, you can't just find one top-tier strategy and spam it. Like, you have to play the match. And people don't like that. They don't. Go on Twitter. How many people are complaining? Oh, man, MK11 sucks. I miss Injustice 2 when I could just be Firestorm and do a fucking full-screen, low-hitting fucking combo starter.
You hear this shit after Eric?
Well, no, after Eric, he's just playing to win. Like, there's nothing wrong with Syzoth spamming that shit. Syzoth is playing to win. It's not his responsibility to make the game not spammy. It's his responsibility to win. So I don't hate on anybody doing degenerate tactics to win. Like, Syzoth's a tournament player. He's trying to win tournaments. And when he practices and plays with us, he's practicing for tournaments. So I respect that. It's not his fault. It's NetherRealm's fault for making that
I'm just
shit.
fucking talking trash, dude.
I get it, but I mean, because this is recorded and going to be placed on like YouTube and shit, I want to make sure to clear the air. We're talking shit, but we're talking shit gesturously. But like, you can't spam, and people don't like that about this game. They don't like it. People aren't good. They don't put in the effort. Like, dude, I watch Sonic Fox play, and he fucking phones it in. He doesn't even fucking try against a lot of people. And you could tell he's not trying, because he knows that people are so bad at fighting games that he could just do regular fighting game shit and beat it and win fucking world tournaments.
Didn't he fucking trash on full auto spawn by saying that another spawn actually made him sweat a little bit and actually made him shy a little bit?
Right.
After he fought it.
Right? Like, Sonic Fox doesn't even fucking try, and I don't blame him. Like, why would he try? Because, like, most people fucking suck at this game, and, Sonic Fox got his, like, circle of friends that he plays with, and they're all good because they train with Sonic Fox, so, that's good. But, like, when you see him do, like, Kombat League or, like, just random sets with, like, viewers and shit, and it's like, dude, these people, like, don't even bother trying to learn MK. Like, you need to go get Street Fighter out and learn how to play fighting games first. Like, that's really the core, is that people don't know how to play fighting games. And it's just kind of weird to see that, because I'm used to being a part of, like, communities like Tekken and the Arc System community where, like, nobody there is, like, fighting game illiterate. Like, I can sit there and, like, say notations, and I can use terms like Oki and set play, and people will know what I'm talking about. But you come to Mortal Kombat, and I talk about whiff punishing, and people think that it's just backdashing, and it's like, what? No, that's not whiff punishing at all. No. Like, you're the...
It wasn't like a month ago, wasn't like Tash saying what OS means?
Yeah, like, Tat didn't know what an option select was. Well, Tat is, like, new to fighting games. She's, like, never played a fighting game before this one. When it's someone like Tat that says that, it's like, all right, that makes sense. She wouldn't know that. But, like, when I see someone that's like, oh, it's every fucking time there's a new NetherRealm game. Oh, yeah, I played Mortal Kombat 2 back in the arcade, man, and I was a Scorpion main. Oh, it's fucking great. And then they don't know what an option select is. And it's like, dude, you did not play Mortal Kombat 2 back in the day. If you did, you played with a bunch of scrub lords at your local scrub lord arcade, because anybody that like played fighting games back then knows what an option select is. That term is very old. Like that shit is from like 1993. Like it's not like we invented that word recently. So no, you do not play fighting games. No, you did not play fucking Mortal Kombat back in the day. Not at least at any kind of level where you'd be considered good. Maybe you played casually with your friends the way I play Smash Bros. But like I would never sit there and go into a Smash community and be like, oh yeah, man, I played Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64, man. I had a fucking dope ass Link. Like, no, shut the fuck up, dude. I did not play Smash Brothers. I played it casually, but I don't know shit about that game. And that's how I feel like the Mortal Kombat community is everybody wants to talk like they fucking play this game. And it's like, no, the fuck you don't, dude. You don't. You have no idea what you're talking about. Please shut the entire fuck up. But everybody has an opinion these days. Everybody got something to say.
Everybody wants to say some dumb shit.
Yeah, it's dumb and like I know I get a lot of flack for saying this shit because I will say the shit that people don't want to fucking hear. I will call people shit. I will call you a motherfucker, right? Like that's my political humor right there. I will call you motherfucker, right? But like, you know, I'll sit there and tell people like they're bad and like they get mad and it's like, dude, you're just bad. Like, okay, you beat me one match out of a 1st to 5. All right, you're still bad. Like, you still lost 4. People are so, like, clout chasey, and it kind of cracks me up because, like, people try so hard to, like, get their name out there, and, like, shit that doesn't matter just matters to people for some fucking reason. But that's just me. That's just me. Yeah, we went on a big-ass fucking tangent, too. We were, like,
yeah, man,
talking about one thing.
Minutes.
Like, I was going to go into, like, how I got into, like, fighting game, why I do what I do. You know, that was kind of what we were doing with the conversation.
Then Crosby entered, and then we started talking about top tiers in MK11, and
It happens.
shit spiraled.
I was
Yeah, that
surprised he
happens.
didn't join earlier. But, I mean, like, so, I mean, at the end of the day, why do you fuck with this game and this community then? Like, why do you play Mortal Kombat? And you're pretty, like, entrenched in the community. Like, you're known in many streamers' chats and YouTubers' comment sections and Twitter and all that. But why? What's the point?
I just play for the fun. I just play because it's fun and shit like that. I play competitively and shit, right? But I started playing because it's fun, and then I fucking fought bad, and he destroyed me in the first of 5. Then I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get good at this game and beat him." And now I
Right.
do.
Yeah, I beat me all the time.
Right.
All the time. I'm not very good at fighting games myself. Like, but, I mean, it's like
And you're better than 90% of the community.
pretty much top 16 in the world. Don't I have a tournament next week, too? I got to do that shit again. Oh, my God. I don't know if I'm going to smoke weed for that next tournament.
Isn't it today, like on the 10th?
What's that?
Isn't it on the 11th for you?
No, it's the 16th. It's Saturday
Oh,
for me. But, like,
I know because like I had a tournament in this December 10th, and then you say yes, same for me, or something like that.
oh, no, like, the 10th is today, right? Yeah, no, I don't have a tournament today.
It is the 10th.
But, like okay, so the reason why I do everything, right? The reason why I do this is like I love fighting games, and this is like one of the few fighting games that I think is like actually good. Like I love the genre and I play everything, but most fighting games are not very good. And this is the first one that I think is actually very good, and I entrench myself in the community and I do content and I stream and all that because like I know how good of an experience fighting games can be. And I know how much fun fighting games are when you know what the fuck you're doing. And that's kind of my whole thing is to try and spread that out in the world. Most people are bad at fighting games, and hopefully if I can teach people how to play them properly, then they can understand how fun these games can be. And it's a little bit of a like greedy, I guess, thing that I do, because I was talking with you before when we were doing the sound check. Like one of the main motivators for starting the channel and starting my community is nobody fucking plays with me. Like, all of my friends refuse to play me at Mortal Kombat or any fighting game. And I was like, well, fuck. I started going to tournaments to find people to play with. But, like, there's no tournaments. And I was like, fuck it, dude. I could build a community for this game and, like, play with my viewers. And they'll play with me, right? I just need people to play this game with. And so that was one of the motivations to, like, really stick it out with this game and really try and get it to work, is just, like, I want to have people to play. And that's why I'm hesitant to play other, like, fighting games, on stream, because it's like I could load up Dragon Ball, but, like, no one will play with me. And I don't want to play Dragon Ball by myself, I don't want to play Tekken by myself. Like, no one will. Well, there's, like, tons of people that will play Tekken with me. Like, I will never be hurting for Tekken matches. But as far, like, I don't have to stream to play Tekken. I could literally turn on Tekken right now and have a full lobby in like 30 seconds. I don't have to stream to play Tekken, but I do have to stream to play Mortal Kombat. If I didn't have this stream, I would never be able to play this game. Like, 90% of however good or bad you guys think I am, like, 90% of that is because, like, I have you guys to practice and play with. Because without you guys, I would have never, like, gotten as good or bad as I am at this game.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, if it wasn't for people like you, like creative and shit like that taught me shit and everything, I wouldn't be nowhere near as good.
Right?
I'd probably still be bitching about fucking Barack or some shit.
Right? I mean, there's still reasons to bitch about Baraka.
Aw, look at the moment you're having. You're so cute.
Oh, what was that ATL again?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
But, like, it's true, though. Like, it takes a community to build a player. And, like, a lot of people talk about, like, Ninja Killa is, like, a prodigy. And it's like, well, no, like, Ninja Killa had a community behind him that he was an online warrior, but I guarantee you, if you go into his account and pull up his friends list, you could find like 10 people that he played MKX with to get to the point where he was as good at that game as he is. Like, it's not like he got good in a vacuum. And it's very important. That's why community is so important, and that's why it's something I try to cultivate. And that's something that I do that other streamers don't. Like, other streamers don't do King of the Hills. Or if they do, like, it's like Forever King. But, like, I don't want to do that because, like, if I just sit there and beat everybody up all day, they don't come back, and then I don't have anyone to play. But if I get my ass kicked a couple of times, all right, then I get inspired to try harder, and then I beat their ass, and they get inspired to try harder, and we end up having a whole little shebang.
yeah. A lot of streamers. I'm talking from Biohazard standpoint. He's the one I'm gonna talk about right now. He's the example I'm gonna.
Oh, you're going to get me in trouble.
He played. I'm not. Trust me. He does like 5 streams a week, I think, or something like that. Where on Monday through Thursday he's gonna do matches with pro players, with friends of his, and then he's gonna go to Kombat League or something like that. And then on Friday he's gonna do viewer sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good and everything, but like once you beat someone's ass like 5 times in a row, they're not gonna fucking want to get good. They're just gonna say your character is cheap because they couldn't find a way to beat it in 5 fucking matches.
Whoa.
After that, they quit MK. They quit everything, and now we're back to lower numbers player base. And then there's people like me that actually want to fucking beat this shit, and I actually do. Actually did. Sorry.
You did one time or twice in a set of 5.
I did
Two
I did
times
twice in
in
2
a
sets
set
of
of
5.
5. 2 times, but it is still good.
No
Though you do
more
bring up
than-
you bring up a good point though, and something that I think separates what I do from everybody else is because the focus of Biohazard's channel is Biohazard. Like, you go to his channel to watch Biohazard, learn from him, maybe play with Biohazard, and like every other streamer is like that, right? You go to even, streamers that I know and talk to, like you go to Saki's stream and it's the Saki show. You go to Vendetta's stream, he does the community thing. He does his little events, but like with what I do, like the community is at the forefront. I think of myself more as like the MC, like I'm the master of ceremonies. I'm just leading this roiling mass of idiots and pointing them in a direction. But like
By the way,
go ahead.
before anyone gets any ideas, we don't mean any disrespect to the players we just mentioned. We're just saying we're doing something different than them.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I love Saki. She's great, you know. Vendetta, I love him. I love Biohazard. I like watching him. But what I'm saying is, I try to model what I do differently, in that the focus is less on me, even though I'm the face of this. But the focus is more on the community, because you look at. Think about this. Think about what we've built and accomplished here. When I do a King of the Hill, and it's a viewer King of the Hill, people recognize the names. They're like, oh shit, that's ATL. Fuck that guy, right? Oh shit, Creative's here. And like, somebody brought it up before, and they said the reason why I like your stream is because your stream reminds me of when I was a kid on the couch with my friends playing video games, and you cultivate that atmosphere, and no one else does that. And that's the point, right? That's the point I try to make. Is like, nobody does anything to bring back the old ways. And I feel like I'm one of the few channels that's really trying to, like, bring back that love and feeling. Like, I'm trying to remind everybody how much fun it is to play these games on the couch with your friends, obviously through streaming and online. But this is the closest we're going to get to that old school feeling. And that's where fighting games are most fun. Tournaments are fun. They're great, right? But I've never had as much fun at a tournament as I did sitting on the couch with my two best friends, getting drunk and calling each other names, playing fucking Soul Calibur 2. Like, that is the highlight of, like, my gaming life. And I want to bring that to the rest of the world. I want people to remember how much fun that is. And that's, yeah, I'm not going to get the kind of viewership numbers that, like, Outworld does, because he puts out a very well produced Pro Series tournament league. Like, but that's not, and people ask me, why I don't do that sort of thing as often.
That's
and
not the point.
it's not really what I want to do. Like, other people already do that. Nobody does what I do. And I don't want to give that up. That's kind of my reasoning for what I do and why I do it, is like, I don't want to give up what I've built, even though it's, it does hinder my growth, but no one else is doing that. No one else is doing the guys on the couch talking shit playing fighting games. Like, Maximilian used to do it, Gutex, PogChamp, right? And Mike Ross did it with Cross Counter, and that's gone. Nobody else does that. Like, Cross Counter or Excellent Adventures is done. Gutex is canceled. You can't do the PogChamp emote anymore. Like, basically, you have Maximilian whenever the video games guys show up to his house, and that's it. And I'm trying to make that, like, the core focus of my stream and my show. And that's why this is something I was thinking about doing before, was, because we've been having trouble scheduling people regularly for the podcast. And I've got enough reputation in the community. I can go at any time. I can go right now and tweet out, podcast Sunday morning, who wants in? And I guarantee you I could get notable players as rotating guests, right? I'm pretty sure I could talk Gurr into coming on the show. I could probably get, I could definitely get, like, Outworld on the show. I could definitely go and get all these notable names on the show, but I don't do that because I would rather keep it community focused, as in my community focused, and I would rather get guests from within, but it's just kind of hard to kind of schedule that. And so I was thinking of doing that. It's just going and grabbing, people from, notable players that aren't necessarily a part of my community. But it would definitely change the atmosphere that we have cultivated. So I'm hesitant to do that, but I know damn well I could get guests. I could get guests. I would just rather you guys first than, like, if I had to choose between ATL and, like, Sonic Fox, I would rather have ATL on the show than Sonic Fox, even though I'm pretty sure it would probably help my podcast more if I had Sonic Fox on one day. I'm telling you, if I got Sonic Fox on the fucking podcast, I'd be at 500 viewers right now instead of 5.
Yeah. Well, like that's not the point. It's the point of of what you're doing is just having friends. So, just basically having friends over, have talk about shit and that. It's not to have high level players beat the shit out of everyone, and then
Well, I'm
it's
kind of late to the question, but I'm just gonna answer it. I'm only playing this game, like I said, because I got sick of sport games. Like this is my first fighting game that I ever really tried to play. I was fucking when I first started playing it. When I first started playing this shit, I was fucking I was using Kano ass because he could do forward two and forward four all day, and that's all I spammed with that and Kano
All
ball.
mix, all mix.
Like cause I didn't know what to do, and then I started playing Kabal, and I was like, oh shit, he could just dash forward and he keep somebody spinning. That's cool. So I started using him, and then I started to get blown up by that shit. People started whooping my ass. So I was like, all right, I gotta actually learn some different shit now. So I just started picking Aaron Black. When I first started playing Aaron Black, all I used to do was back two slide, back two slide,
I
two
know.
one slide, two
Yeah.
one
so you
two
went
slide.
from mix to no mix to mix.
Like I couldn't do shit. But
No, I
like I said,
remember. I
I started
remember our
getting
first match was back two slide was 80% of that fucking round. I was like, oh my god, what is this guy we found in Combat League? Who is this idiot? I was like, man, you are actually. I remember that match
to be
like.
fair. To be fair though, I usually use Barking Arts, and I was playing you with 52 card pickup, so that's why I was doing that. But
No, but it was. I remember I
Yeah.
was so impressed with your Kung Lao play. Like I was like, dude, this guy's actually pretty good with Kung Lao. Like I beat you, right? But I was like, dude, he knows what to do. I just outplayed him, but he's not bad with the character. And then you swapped over to Aaron Black, and you just did fucking online Combat League bullshit. And I was like, oh fuck, whatever. I just complimented this idiot, and now he's gone fucking full sweat mode, and he's actually not very good. What the fuck am I doing here?
yeah,
Isn't
when
that
I
how you began hating Aaron Black?
What's
say that
that?
again.
Isn't that where you began hating Aaron Black?
Me? No, I've always kind of. I hate playing Aaron Black online. Like offline, he's not that bad. He's actually not very good. Online though, like you can't react to back to slide. Like, and
Yeah, I know, I
it's
know. That was the
annoying.
thing.
I think that's one of the reasons why people don't lab in this game because offline. There's the motivation to lab the fuzzy for back two slide because you can actually knock that shit off offline. But online, you're going to sit there and spend 10 hours in a week practicing the fuzzy for back two slide, and then you go online and it doesn't fucking work anyways. And I think that's why people don't lab. And I think Ultimate fixed that so much. Like, I don't think people really give NetherRealm credit for how much they fixed this game with Ultimate because they got rid of the mashing. Mashing doesn't exist that much in this game. You could still mash strategically, but if you do 3 down ones in a row, you're going to die. And NetherRealm fixed that, and I think that they balanced this game for high-level play offline, and then the coronavirus happened, and they're like, yo, these fucking 3 and 4 frame links on a jail just aren't going to happen online. And so everybody's mashing. Let's make pokes plus 15 so that way people, even if your timing is a little bit off, you can still land the jail and it's not a random fucking guess in the wind. And people don't give NetherRealm credit for that, dude. The poke change really fixed the fucking meta in this game.
I mean, what's the point of fucking crediting NetherRealm when you could just hate on it and get free clout?
Right? Because you can't hit down 1 3 times into grab anymore, right? Like, you can't just unga bunga mix. Like, I kind of get why people are mad because there aren't very many games that are fucking stupid as far as fighting games go. Like, most fighting game developers try to make their game not stupid, whereas NetherRealm actively went out of their way to make their games as stupid as fucking possible, right? And so people that kind of grew up on that are used to stupid. And then when they can't be stupid, they're like, well, what the fuck? Where can I go? There are no games where I can be stupid now. Like MK11, you can't be stupid for the most part, right? Like even if we're talking about top tiers, like if it's top tier versus top tier, like yeah, Jackie can spam shit, so can Joker. But like you can't be stupid in that matchup. You know, like you have to, now that both of us are stupid, both of us have to actually play. Whereas in previous games, it's like you never had to actually play. You could just be stupid.
Yeah.
But like Ultimate fixed that,
That's
man.
why sometimes I just don't play MK11 all that much, and I just switch to Injustice 2 or MKX, like I am right now.
Yeah, but see, the thing
Don't
is,
play MK11 that much because it's not stupid.
I play Injustice 2, and I just remember why I fucking hated that game because it's so stupid that like I just don't want to fuck with it. I'm like, dude, I can go into MK11 and like all this stupid shit is gone, and people have to actually beat me. People have to actually fight me and outplay me instead of just I'm gonna spam full screen low for a combo and there's nothing you can do. Like I'm just gonna like rush in and do a string, and then I'm going to flip a coin as to whether I end the string with an overhead or a low. And like if you don't guess or block, I win. Like that's stupid. Like I don't know. I get why people find that fun because when you're winning with that dumb shit, like you feel badass. But like, if you're not winning with it, it's the most awful fucking game to play. And I think that's why fighting games struggle, like retaining an audience, because it's just awful. Like if I'm just full screen and I'm just like crouch blocking against Firestorm the whole fucking match, like why would I play that? Why would I come back? You know, like there's no, and that's literally what happened. Injustice 2 died after like 6 months because people were like, yeah, I could probably lab how to beat this, but like I'm going to put in all this work to beat him doing one move. And he could just do that the whole match. And I have to come up with an entire strategy and no frame data and all this to beat one move. I'm not putting out that effort. There are other games to play. And literally, that's what happened. Everybody quit Injustice 2 and just said, there are other games to play. I'm going to play those instead. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me, because I didn't play Injustice 2, but I saw it die. I saw it from the front lines, watched it die. And you can't really do that in MK11.
Injustice 2 had a longer Evo run than MK11.
It had a longer Evo run than MK11 because there was a longer Evo. There was an Evo for Injustice. But Injustice 2 didn't have as many Evo it didn't have as many Evo highlights as MK9. MK9 was NetherRealm's one game that had like the longest Evo run because it did what, 3 Evos? Injustice 2 only did 2.
Don't all NRS games only go 2 other than MK9?
Yeah, MK9's the only one that did 3. But like,
Yeah.
it's because the NetherRealm games, they have a hard time keeping the attention of people that are good at fighting games. They're really good at keeping the attention of casual players that are interested in transitioning to competition. Like they can get new players because most people that are competitive at MK never played a fighting game before, right? Like you have like outliers like Sonic Fox who grew up with a pro DOA player, right? But like, you know, someone like Ninja Killer didn't really play fighting games before X. And so Mortal Kombat is really, really good. NetherRealm fighting games are really, really good at taking someone who has never played fighting games before and getting them interested. Where the games fall apart is in getting people that do play fighting games really well and keeping them playing. Like you'll see, and you see it all the time. Like Eris dropped MK11 after like a week, right? Like Justin Wong dropped MK11 pretty quick. Like, you know, all these notable players from other games, like NetherRealm games don't really keep their attention. I think MK11 is the first time where if those players would have stuck with it, they would have found the depth they were looking for. Like if Eris would have kept at Mortal Kombat 11, I think Eris would probably play this game now and like it. But he didn't like it at release. And same thing, you know, with like Maximilian doesn't really care for the game. Like, and I think if Maximilian had played this game like with somebody good that like showed them the inner depth of this game, I think Maximilian would probably get a fucking gas out of this game. Would probably enjoy it. But, you know, that's the problem NetherRealm games have, in my opinion.
Max would probably play Joker, to be honest.
But like, yeah, that's like another of the channel. Like one of the like things I try to do with my channel is like get people to not quit the game, and if they did quit, to come back. Yeah. You know, and I don't think anyone else
interested in MK11.
Yeah, nobody else really does that. Like nobody else really kind of cares. Like most of other communities are like, how can I get like rich and famous and build a career off of this shit, right? Like, how can I make this a good thing for me? And like, I'm like, I don't really fucking care, dude. I'm broke. I'm gonna be broke. I'm never gonna get rich and famous doing this shit. But you know what? If I can get people to quit,
isn't your intro or outro like sub to me so I can become rich and famous or some shit like that?
it's satire though, man. It's satire. It's funny.
I know.
But like, there's nobody. Most people look at like streaming and like especially Mortal Kombat, and they look at like, what can I get out of this? There are a lot of notable players that just like, what can I get out of this? And like, my motivation is like, what can I put into this? Like, what can I do that people would enjoy and want to come back and like play Mortal Kombat. Like, that's why I do the tutorials, because it's like, oh shit, like, you know, people don't know this. I can create this and this will help people, and then they won't quit playing Mortal Kombat. Or like, I can put up match videos and people will see us having fun and they will want to have fun too. So they won't quit Mortal Kombat and they'll continue playing with us. That's everything I do is from that perspective of what can I do to get people to not quit this game, so that way I have people to play with. So it's a little bit like, you know, me getting something out of it, but like, it's less about like, can I get rich and famous as a streamer, and more of like, I've made peace with the fact that I will never be rich and famous. If I were going to be rich and famous, I'd probably still be in banking, right? Like, it's, what can I do to get people to play video games with me? I just want a friend. Kabaling, you there? Everybody got disconnected.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, like, everybody got disconnected. The podcast ends up being me ranting for an hour and a half, and like, that's just the regular fucking show. This is supposed to be community spotlight, you assholes. I swear to God, it's the damn weed they smoke. I tell you, they smoke too many marijuana cigarettes. But we are at an hour. This is usually about where we try to cut the podcast, right? Is there anything else you want to add, Kabaling?
Start playing Injustice 2. That game's fun as fuck. If you're actually good at it and don't spam the same shit over and over.
No, that game is fun as fuck when your set play works. When your set play doesn't work, you just kind of...
I don't think. I think Injustice 2 is
bullshit!
Finding a good...
Bullshit! You sat there and you got fucking, like, set played by fucking Firestorm when Syzoth was doing a match with you, and you were fucking hating life. It's easy to sit there when you're mixing up with Hellboy.
I fucking set play mid-match, dude. Dude tried to cross up me with Firestorm. Like, he did a fucking set, jump in two from one side, and the fucking hit looked like it would cross up me, but it didn't.
Yeah,
it actually fucking made for me to beat the move. I had to walk forward to the fucking neutral jumping Firestorm, and I learned that shit mid-match.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when he caught you in that shit, dude. When he caught you in that shit, you were getting just as mad. And, like, the thing is, like, the layers...
I was getting mad until I learned how to beat it.
But the problem...
Just how I...
The problem with it is that there aren't very many layers to it. Like, it's not like MK11 where there are, like, 10 things I can answer whatever you're doing. Like, unless you're Cetrion, like, I always have, like, 10 things that I can throw out there. Whereas, like, Injustice, it's like, here is my set play. This is how to beat it. If you can escape... then the game is, can I get you back into the set play? And, like, that's it. That's the layer.
I mean, I play characters like Red Hood and Hellboy right now, and Hellboy's setup is just combo into 4-2-3 down 4-3 into mix. There is counterplay to it, like wake up attacks. Like, for example, the fucking anti-air shield into Wonder Woman. That shit anti-airs me if I go for either option of the lower your head. But I can fucking make a huge fucking read, do it down 4-3, backdash out, land, and fucking whip punish you with 1-1 back to into full combo.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying is, like, it's all get you into the setup, loop the setup. If you escape, put you back in the setup. Like, that's it. You literally just described that. Like, I have a setup. If she does her anti-air shield to escape, then... all I do is try and figure a way to put her back in the setup.
I just want to throw this out here. I don't know a damn thing y'all talking about right now.
You
So I'm just
shouldn't. You
listening.
you really shouldn't. MK11 is, and I've said it, it's a far better fighting game than Injustice. And the more I play Injustice, the more I realize that MK11 is so superior in every fucking way. Every fucking way. I used to think Injustice had better combos. I don't think that anymore. They have longer combos. You have to do more buttons, but they're not better. Like they're just kind of like, because meter management is probably the only skillful thing in Injustice, because it's hard to gain meter, and it's like you have to really think about how you're going to spend your meter. But like, and meter management is just not a part of MK11. But like outside of meter management, like the combos aren't all that, like if you don't have any bar, you're just doing string into special move, which is literally what you do in MK11. Like most of the combos I saw, all right, because I consider you put a lot of time in that game, and I consider Sizoff, really good at that game. So when I watch two people who are actually good at Injustice 2 putting in work and playing that game at high level, and like literally it's like back three armor launcher into jump attack into string into special move. That's most of the combos. If I can get a random hit in the neutral with like a advancing string, then I can do a combo extender, and then into back three or forward three, into jump attack, into string, into special. Like the combos are like, they're not Marvel versus Capcom, like they're not better than Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But there's other characters like Red Hood, for example, that do fucking they do back 2-3, 2-2, 1-1-2 into setup, and then whatever. Or if you're doing the fucking custom gear shit and world, whatever, you can do back 2-3, 2-2, 3-2, back forward 3 meter burn, 4-3, and then fucking end the combo in either a setup with 1-1-2 back forward 1, or end in damage with 2-3 down back 1.
But how is that different from combos in MK11? Other than you have to push more
Oh
buttons.
no, it isn't. It
That-
isn't.
That's the only thing Injustice
I don't care
has,
about combos and
is that you have to push
I
more
care about-
buttons. People think that's a skill. They're like, oh yeah, Injustice 2 takes more skill because I have to push more buttons. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It takes
No.
less skill. You just have to
No.
push more buttons to do the dumb shit. But like, it's still dumb shit. You're just pushing more buttons to do it.
Whoever said that shit is dumb.
Everybody. Like, you go on Twitter, go on Reddit, people are like, oh yeah, Injustice 2 was so much better. There were more combos. Like, I'm like, no, the
Twitter
combos
is
were kind of
dumb.
trash in Injustice 2. MKX had good
Twitter
fucking
is
combos.
dumb.
MKX. If you like combos, MKX had fucking combos. There was so much shit you could do in MKX, and meter flowed so freely because the whole game was just rushed down. So you were constantly having meter. So you were constantly doing crazy shit. Combos were better in X. If they added the combo system of X to 11 with like more opportunities to extend depending on your meter management, that would be the perfect game. MK11 with more combos would be the perfect game. For me, at least.
Twitter is just dumb in general. Like, if casual can make a fucking tier list, it's all wrong, and people will say that it's wrong, and then the casual will just say, well, no, fuck you, I'm a fucking casual, I play for fun.
Yeah, but tier lists
Fuck
are
off.
dumb. Like, people fucking like
I know,
shit
tier lists
on
are
my...
dumb. That's at the beginning, like, that's how you know they're dumb, they're making a tier list.
Yeah, anybody that cares about tier lists is not somebody whose opinion I'm going to value. If you are looking for tier list content, then you're at the wrong place. And like, if you value tier list content, then you're kind of an idiot, in my opinion. I think tier lists are very specific for what they're trying to accomplish, and nobody really understands that. And so, like, people don't look at a tier list as like how effective I can be in competition. People look at a tier list as like, what's the character I can pick to just win? That's what people want, right? So instead of like, I see like, Rio like spent 2 hours making a tier list, and it's like, why did you do that? That was a waste of time. You could have just said pick Aaron Black, and that's what people want. That's what people want out of your tier list, is like, what character do I pick so that way I can have easy wins? Oh, Jackie? All right, good. Then that's it. And to me, like, that's when the one time I did a tier list, that's what I did. I said, here are your top 3 characters. You want to win a tournament? Pick these 3 characters. There's your tier list. These characters are bottom tier. Don't pick them. That's it. That's all you need to know, because that's all you want out of a tier list. But a real tier list is more of a matchup chart using data found through actual offline competitive play. And then you compile that data along with a little bit of theory crafting, but mostly you compile that data and you show the results. That's what a tier list is like we've done 500 tournaments and fucking Nightwolf has won 400 of them. Nightwolf is probably the best character in the game, right? Like that's theoretically, that's the practical application of a tier list. And then you use the data. You say, okay, well, at this tournament, this player played Liu Kang and he fought these matches and he steamrolled these people in those matches. We've had 3 tournaments afterwards. No one's been able to counter Liu Kang with any of these characters, only this character. So these are 6-4 matchups. This is a 5-5 matchup. So the Liu Kang has 10 6-4 matchups. The rest are 5-5s. That puts him a little bit higher in the tier list because the data shows that this character is effective. Not none of this stupid shit of like, oh yeah, well, Melina can 50-50 you with a mix-up if she gets in, so she should really be mid-tier. You're a fucking idiot if you say that dumb shit, and get the fuck out of my channel with that stupid shit. People come into my chat all the time. I argued with people when I made my tier list. Yeah, but you see, Sub-Zero, like, if he does the mix, and then fucking nobody has done shit with Sub-Zero. One guy did all right in a tournament with Sub-Zero. He's not fucking top tier, right? Or at least when I made that tier list. And that's how I look at it, and that's how tier lists were. Everybody who is actually good at fighting games, everyone who actually understands fighting games knows that is the purpose of the tier list. And like, then you have Justin Wong who makes fucking cereal tier lists, and Captain Crunch is top tier, and fucking Crunch Berries, that's bottom tier shit. Like, okay, that's memes, that's funny, but like most of the community, they don't understand the purpose of a tier list, and like it's just like all it is just they look at it like a cheat code. Like, what's the cheat code? Oh, the cheat code is pick Garrus. All right. I'm not about that. That's why I don't do that kind of content. That's why I don't promote that kind of mentality. Like, a tier list means nothing. They literally have no meaning. You could sit there, dude. How many times have I fucking beat people? Like, somebody will come in with fucking upgraded Jackie and I'll beat them with fucking Scarlet. That's your fucking tier list. That's your fucking tier list. Scarlet, worst character in the game. Jackie, best character in the game.
Literally anyone was so calm.
Yeah. Like, get the fuck out of here. Your tier lists are pointless. They're literally pointless.
Tier lists don't matter. First off, tier lists just don't matter shit. Second off, how the fuck are you going to make a tier list on MK11? First off, it's not even dead. Second off, there isn't characters. There's fucking variations.
Well, I can
see a tier list for a game like Injustice 2, but not fucking MK11 with 3 different, or actually no, it's like 5 or 6 different characters per character slot.
Well, you did.
How the fuck are you gonna make a tier list for that?
You said something that I do want to touch upon. How you said that how can there be a tier list for MK11? The game isn't dead. And that's another misconception that like, oh, we can't do a tier list until the game is dead and the meta is set in stone. That's not what a tier list is either. A tier list is like, well, no, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying a lot of people have that mentality of like, why is there a tier list when the game still has an active meta? The whole point of the tier list is a compilation of data and then looking at the data and making a hypothesis based on the data. There is no data. That's why the tier lists are shit. There's no data. Nobody has played this game at the most optimal conditions at the highest level. No one. Like, there was one tournament in Ukraine, right, that was offline that maybe we could use as data for a tier list, but that's one tournament. Usually you want to have like a series of tournaments before you start even talking about a tier list. But nobody's played this game at a high level at all. If you play online, you don't play at a high level. We've not seen this game played at it's very rare to see this game played at a high level because online is not high level. There's lag. So you're not playing at that's the whole thing, matchup charts. If 2 people, right, they always say 6-4 matchup, 7-3 matchup. If 2 people that are the best in the world played at optimal conditions, right, then this is how it will play out. But nobody's even played close to optimal conditions because we're playing online. It's not even close. Like, you could make the argument, well, okay, tournaments aren't optimal because people are yelling in your face, and like it would be more optimal for you to play at home where you're comfortable. Okay. You could make that argument. You can make that argument, and that is a valid argument. But tournament play is far more optimal than online in every way, shape, and form. And we haven't had any offline tournaments, so whatever you think your tier list is or whatever your reasoning for wanting to make a tier list is wrong and you're stupid. That's just it. That's the end of the discussion. Kabalsek, did you just rage quit?
No, I didn't rage quit. I started having the same bug where I couldn't hear shit.
Discord. Well, like, I know that my hot takes are hot takes, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me, and I couldn't give two shits whether or not they agree with me. Like, I'm a fucking fighting game boomer. I stand for the old ways. The old ways worked. The old ways made Justin Wong a champion. The old ways made Sonic Fox a champion. They work. Until somebody can be a champion without using the old ways, I will refuse to believe that the old ways are no longer effective. Like, even Ninja Killa, who started out as an online warrior, again, like, he used the resources available to him, but he still did it the old way. Still had a community of people that he'd do sets with to get good, still play, constantly, learning, labbing, practicing, coming up with new tech. Like, Ninja Killa, yeah, he's young, he's a new school guy, but he used the old school ways to get good. That's what made Ninja Killa a champion. But people don't want that.
Yeah.
They want the easy way, and that's why there's one Ninja Killa, there's one Sonic Fox, there's only Hayate putting in work with Fujin. That's the difference between these pro players and all of you guys, or everybody else. Not all of you guys, but because most of you guys could hang with those pro players now. But, like, the difference between pros and non-pros, the pros use the old ways.
Pros actually try. The non-pros actually just look at a fucking dumbass tier list and
a tier list and a
without
YouTube combo. That's it. You want to get good at fighting games? Grab a tier list and pull up some combos on YouTube. You'll be Evo champ in no time. Evo champ in no time. Either way, we're now at basically an hour and a half. Any final thoughts, Kabalsek? Oh, fuck. I thought you got DC'd again.
No, I have no final thoughts, dude.
Awesome.
Fucking don't make a tier list about MK11. Don't fucking follow dumb shit and actually try to be good.
Right? Just learn some combos on YouTube and look up a tier list. Just do the bare minimum of effort, people. You can win Evo with the bare minimum. If you find like 3 or 4 good combos on YouTube that look flashy and exciting, and you pull up the best character on, Tweety's tier list or whoever, then you can win. That's all it takes, people. That's all it takes.
You can win the big bucks.
Right? So anyways, you can follow Kabalsek on Twitter. That's the only social media he's got, right?
Yeah, at Kabaling1 on Twitter.
He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he does post on my YouTube channel, so you can actually see a lot of Kabalin, his editing work, and some of his gameplay footage if you want to see if Kabalin is actually good. And also, you can follow me. Go ahead.
The videos will start popping up in like 3 or 4 days. Don't worry.
It's all good, dude. Take your time. But you can also follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter. You can obviously follow me on Twitch. I was going to make a Parler account, but I guess those don't exist anymore. I do have a BitChute. I don't think anything is on it. So probably Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch.
Patreon.
What's that?
Do you have a Patreon?
Oh yeah, I do have a Patreon. I don't post any content exclusive to Patreon. It's literally just there for me to take everybody's money. Which you can go ahead and go on my Patreon and give me your money, right? Like, give me all the money that you have on my Patreon. It's great, and it funds. It helps me.
If you give him money, I will shout you out in my YouTube videos.
Right. If you give me money, then most likely I will give that money to Kabalsek. So I don't know. I guess it depends on whether or not they like you.
No. If you give Badger's money, I will put you at the end of Badger's videos.
Right.
Guaranteed. Shout out.
Shout out to the Patreon support.
Give him $100 and your name will appear in one video.
Right. There we go. Well, I want to thank you for coming out, Kabalsek, and ATL sorta cameoed a little bit.
Yeah, at the middle.
And yeah, that would be this episode of the Combat Pack podcast. If you guys want me to bring on outside guests, I'm certainly open to do it. Say something in the comments. For those of you on YouTube, if there's anybody specifically you'd want me to try and reach out to, I'm open to the idea. I wanted to keep things insulated within our community, but we're having scheduling issues. And so maybe I'll bring on outside guests, depending on who you guys are interested in hearing from. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about podcasts.
I might be able to help with the people you want.
Well, it's more of whether or not there's interest in that sort of thing. I can get people. Dude, I can just fucking call Slayer. I know I can get Slayer on the podcast. That wouldn't be hard. I can get people. It's whether or not you guys want me to do that, and if there's certain people you guys want me to reach out to, definitely let me know.
To be fair, to get some people asking to ask people if they want something in the beforehand, they to answer. People need to actually fucking hear this shit.
Right? Exactly. But that would be the end. I'm going to chop this up and throw it on YouTube, hopefully tonight or tomorrow. You guys know how it is. But thank you, Kabalsak, for coming out, and thank you, ATL, as well.
No problem.